And so, wait, we can have a pause before
Composing
questions.
yourself. Composure.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Behind the Gram on Hopper Island. On today's show we have Sharan, a well-known foodie as well as a consistent food reviewer, I would say.
You would say.
On Instagram. So Sharan, to begin, tell us about how and what got you into blogging and being a foodie.
Sure. I think initially it just started with food. Obviously anyone can get on Instagram and just be a food blogger, right? It's super easy. But I realized I added a lot more uniqueness to it. I spoke about why I was there, who I was there with, what the occasion was. I'm no food expert, right? I'm not a Gordon Ramsay. I just say if it's good or bad. But I added a new twist to it and that started catching on. And then I started collaborating with people. And I think my platform is just not food right now. Obviously, food is the main theme of it because I love food. I genuinely love food. I would travel to another country just for food.
So it's more lifestyle now.
It's more my life on a platform. I wouldn't call it lifestyle because lifestyle is a different genre as it is. But I'd say my life on a platform which has food, adventure, motivation, a lot of exploration, and real talk. But it's evolved. But food is a main theme around it.
Okay.
But yeah.
So when did you start blogging?
So I wouldn't call it blogging. So blogging is having an official blog and writing and basically making a lot of content through writing, right? I think it's just my captions on Instagram. But I would say I do a lot, even though I don't really like using this term, but I do a lot of influencer work. I like influencing people to do good. I like influencing people to go and eat at a particular place that I loved. So I would say influencer work. So that I started maybe like a year and a half ago, maybe 2. It's really started picking up a year and a half ago, and then it's just been amazing so far.
It's just a tidal wave.
It's just been, yeah.
Okay, so could you tell us your perspective on the online market in Sri Lanka and what you think the future holds for?
I think a key word I use for the online market in Sri Lanka is infant. I think we have a lot of growing to do. Because I'm currently studying in Australia and they have full-fledged influencer hubs where they act as a middleman between brands and influencers. And influencers' content is amazing. It's crazy how mature the market is. And they clearly see influencers as a viable marketing resource to pitch their products, restaurants, hotels, brands, whatever it may be. I think companies and hotels here are still finding the fact that influencers are a viable resource. Because compared to TV ads and radio ads and all, etc., influencers are people who other people trust. Trust is a big factor now. I think companies and hotels are still coming around to that, but hopefully, eventually it'll happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so speaking about travel, tell us what your favorite country is to travel to and why would you go back to that?
Right. So basically, after my undergrad, I did really well in my undergrad here. Tooting my own horn here. But my mom gave me a gift of a solo travel to Malaysia and Singapore.
Okay.
Singapore, I did all the activities, like my first roller coaster ride, first time to an aquarium, first time to a zoo. I've never been to those things in Sri Lanka either. I was quite the introvert. But Malaysia was delicious. It had amazing food, everything was cheap. So there, everything's called, like what we call petikates, they call mamas.
Mamas.
Yeah, mamas.
Okay.
So I used to just go and sit in mamas and just like order everything from Malaysia. So if I had to travel to a country for cheap, delicious food, it would be Malaysia.
Malaysia.
For sure.
Okay, so speaking on the lines of food,
Yeah.
what are your favorite few restaurants
In Sri Lanka?
around the world?
Oh.
Or even Sri Lanka?
But I'm going to say Sri Lanka so it's relatable to the audience as well. I think one cafe that I love and that nobody goes to, which is amazing, so I can just enjoy my meal without too much of crowd, is Avirate Cafe. It's right next to Avirate, the store.
Okay.
And like it's very small, but their food is very minimal and it's just cut and dry, low prices, and it's delicious. I think Avirate is one of them.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'd say... on the spot now. I'd say like a good butt packer, to be honest. Anywhere that has a good butt packer like Udumbara or something like that, like who can complain about a good butt packer, right?
Some papadang and fried chilies.
Oh yeah, fried chilies, papadang, pol sambal, rice. Like anyway, I can go on. And lastly, if I had to go over the expensive range, I'd say Zen from Zealand. It's a good date spot. If you ever want to take a date there, book the rooftop bar. There's a swimming pool there, and it's very intimate. But yeah, I'd say Zen. But yeah.
So now we will move on to you as a person.
Yep.
Who would you aim to be like one day?
My mom. Hands down. She's the most influential person in my life. And the reason I'm so open about what I talk about and all those things is because of her. She's someone who's gone through divorce. She's gone through physical and mental abuse. If you look at her without makeup, you can still see like a bruise mark on her cheek from getting punched by my late father. But she was very open about talking about these topics, even though some parents are like, are you sure you want to talk about this? Because it's not socially accepted. But she was like, look at my son. I have nothing to be ashamed of. So that's why I'm so open on my platform as well, talking about mental health awareness and all of those things, because my mom was so open about it as well. So yeah, my mom, hands down.
So now we're going to play a small game called Bag and Chuck.
Okay.
So here we go. Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg?
Elon Musk, I want to go to space.
The Rock or Mark Wahlberg?
Rock. Hands down. Rock or Tom Hardy? Rock.
Ben Affleck or Christian Bale?
Christian Bale, hands down.
Chris Hemsworth or Henry
Have you seen Chris Hemsworth's arms? Chris Hemsworth. Hands down.
Okay. Kim Kardashian or Kendall Jenner?
Kendall.
Margot Robbie from the Suicide Squad or Anne Hathaway as Catwoman?
See, Suicide Squad as a movie was really bad. Okay, but Batman was really good. But Margot Robbie is Margot Robbie. And have you seen her on Wolf of Wall Street? You can't say no to that. So Margot Robbie, hands down.
Okay. Kobe Smulders or Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson. Redheads.
Gal Gadot or Michelle Rodriguez?
Gal
Gadot.
Oh.
Rosie Huntington or Megan Fox?
Oh my god. So basically, Transformers, when I watched Transformers 1, Megan Fox was just like, oh my god. But then Rosie Huntington came with her amazing lips, and I was just like, yeah, Rosie Huntington. Hands down.
Okay, so that was Bag and Chuck.
Yeah, that was fun.
So moving on with our questions. What are 3 things you always carry with you?
3 things are my phone, wallet, and if I'm driving, my car keys. So, essentials.
Okay. And 3 best places for kottu?
Oh, Sri Lanka's restaurants are so inconsistent, but I have to say, do you remember the cafe called Bars Cafe?
At Crescat?
No, not at Crescat. It used to be it's next to Shea International.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, anyway, but it's closed. Anyway, I would say Plaza and Wallava in Melbourne, Australia, which has the best kottu I've ever had, even compared to Sri Lanka. And I guess lastly would be Pilaus. I haven't had much kottu in other places, but yeah.
Okay. So now speaking more on travel.
Yep.
What are 3 things you love about Sri Lanka?
3 things I love about Sri Lanka. The food. The Sri Lankan food, you can never... Like, I live in Melbourne and the Sri Lankan food is not Sri Lankan food. It's like bland because like they have to cater to Australians and their spices. So Sri Lankan food, how easy it is to travel around and how beautiful it is. If you go up north, it's different. If you go down south, it's different. If you go to Yala, it's different. Like we have so much of diverse environments that we can... In one place, and it's not hard to get around as well now with all the transport facilities. Number 3, I think number 3 would be how we're still a developing country and we have so much potential, and I hope that we can utilize that potential to its best. So yeah.
Okay. So how many times a year do you normally travel around Sri Lanka or abroad?
So every month I try to go at least once or twice, if the budgets are okay. If anybody knows my struggle, I'm sure everyone can relate to this, but if the budgets are okay, yeah, once or twice a month. I make sure I do a hike trip and a surfing trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are 2 places in Sri Lanka that you'll never get tired of visiting?
Valigama for surfing, although it's becoming highly commercialized now, but Valigama for surfing. And probably like Adler was beautiful, so probably Adler. Yeah.
So, in your opinion, what are the best seasons to travel in Sri Lanka? And do you have some tips you could give us about traveling?
Save up. That's the most important thing, because you don't have to worry about costs. Because nowadays when you travel somewhere, everything is so highly commercialized that it's tourist prices, unfortunately.
For locals as well.
For locals as well. So I'd suggest save up a bit of cash for sure. Withdraw cash, don't take your card. A lot of places don't take cards, so that's a problem. And other than that, like, go with a good bunch of people. Good vibes is the best thing about travel. And if you're going with like people who are a bit complaining and a bit of a drama queen, that might ruin the vibe of the trip. So definitely go with like good vibing people and carry hand sanitizer. You never know. You never know.
Okay, so what about packing or like timings of trips?
So timings, like from what I've experienced, all my hiking trips, like the timing is way off. But try and go as early as possible so you can get to your destination fast and you can relax a bit and everything. Pack extra underwear, because you never know when you're going to jump into like a lake.
Always double it.
Always double it. Always double it. Underwear is the most important thing. You can wear the same clothes if you want. Like, you have to rough it out. Like, traveling in Sri Lanka, you have to be willing to rough it out. Because I'm someone who always goes for budget hotels and like budget hostels, and I stay in like hostels and all that stuff. So I don't really care. So if you're someone like that, then like definitely be willing to rough it out.
So have you been traveling a lot in Sri Lanka to hostels?
Yeah, so whenever I go to Valigama or something like that, it's always a hostel. Like, we get like a bunk bed hostel, and it's really interesting because like you meet different people
exactly.
And like in the night they'll all be having a drink together, and like you get to talk to them and learn about them and have fun with them. So you meet new friends. So hostel for sure.
For sure. So you started the Be Kind movement. Tell us a little bit more about it.
So the Be Kind movement, so I felt like everything was driven by either money or free food or free accommodation somewhere, right? That's why people are doing things these days as influencers. And like influencers is just thrown around as a word, and that's why I kind of hate using it sometimes, because people are so different in person and so different in their social media profile. So I reached out to a few people in a group chat and I was like, this is not driven by money, this is not driven by accommodation, it's not driven by free food. It's purely driven by sharing either how someone was kind to you and how it changed your life, or how you were kind to someone else and how that changed their lives. And it was just purely to share a story, their own personal story, and like making an impact in someone else's life. Because I believe everything is a ripple effect, right? You throw a pebble, it causes a ripple. If I'm kind to you today, the chances are that you could be kind to someone else, and that person could be kind to someone else, right? I feel like we're lacking that in society these days, because everyone's just so selfish that they're used to like just thinking about themselves, not worrying about their surroundings and everything. So it causes people to forget that there are people going through problems. And I'm someone who personally goes through anxiety attacks, depression, all of those things as well. So I firmly believe. So I got those group of people together, and it was about 16 people. And we got about 35 people who are not influencers, who are just normal people making posts, sharing with the hashtag Be Kind. And I believe Be Kind is an umbrella. Sexual assault, women empowerment, child abuse, all of those things, all of these issues come under that umbrella. And I feel like it will be a good thing as long as I keep pushing it the right way. And as long as I keep doing it with the people who want to do it genuinely.
So, as far as people you're aiming this at, who would it be?
Oh, anyone.
Anyone.
It could be an 80-year-old man or woman, or it could be like a 12-year-old boy or girl. It can be anyone. There are so many boys and girls who have been bullied in school. That's a big problem. There are so many old men and women who have been abandoned by their children, and they feel like they have a lack of kindness. I don't know if that demographic is on Instagram, but I'm just saying, like, if I'm kind to you and you feel, okay, I'm going to go to an old people's home and donate, done.
Ripple effect.
Dusted. Yeah.
So what's a long-term goal in this?
Eventually, I want to like make sure that it's like a big movement that we keep pushing the message. I believe that with anything, the story sells more than anything else. Whether it comes to a hotel or a movement or whatever, it's the story. I want to make sure that people are more comfortable talking about these things, where in this country, as soon as you talk about depression or anxiety, they think you're mentally insane.
Exactly.
Right? Even my mom is like I was going through like a lot of stuff in Australia. She was like, are you sure it's okay to drive when you come back? I was like, Ma, I'm not mentally insane. I'm just going through stuff, you know? So like, I just want to break that stereotype where it's not a taboo anymore and it's a conversation. It's where people are free to talk about things. So, yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to a serious question.
Oh, no.
What's one thing you would do if you were the president of the country?
Oh, my God. Fix the transport system. Like make
That's it?
public transport more accessible.
Okay.
So we bring more tourism into the country. If transport itself is fixed, I believe like people would be so much more open to travel around Sri Lanka. I guess people are okay to rough it out and stuff, but like electronically make transport more viable. I'm sure that it's in the pipeline, but I don't know how long it's going to be in the pipeline for. But if I could, I would fix the transport system, make public transport more accessible for anyone in society, not just people who can't afford a car or petrol or something like that, or cabs. So yeah.
So tell us 3 things about you and what crosses your mind daily.
3 things about me. I love waking up in the morning to go to the gym. It's more of a mental thing. It starts my day. It's not a physical thing.
Gives you the energy.
It's just the mental. Yeah, it starts my day. I love doing that. Number 2, I absolutely love food. I think we've covered that already, but that's number 2. And number 3, I genuinely believe in being genuine. I don't believe in being fake. I don't believe in being awful to people. It's in my blood. I think my mom has just like bestowed it on me. What's the other question?
What crosses your mind daily?
Daily?
Like one thing on your mind is all good.
One thing on my mind, how I can do more, for sure. How I can do more on the platform, how I can do more to support my mom, how I can do more in university, how I can do more in general. Like how I can be a better person every day, for sure.
Okay, so now we're going to go for a series of questions. So Sharan has 5 seconds to answer.
What? Okay.
Each question.
Okay. Oh god. I'm not ready for this. Guys.
Here we go. Bonfires or waterfalls?
Waterfalls.
Apple or Android?
Android, hands down.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox. Halo.
Black or pink?
Black.
Candy Crush or Angry Birds?
Angry Birds.
Breakfast you'll never get tired of?
Sausages and eggs.
Cast in Magic Mike or Avatar?
God, Avatar. I would never do well in Magic Mike.
Okay, next one is dogs or cats?
Dogs, hands up.
Who's your favorite Instagrammer on Instagram?
Amanda. He's a kind guy and a model and influencer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Thank you, Sharan, for being on our show today. And we thank Highbury Colombo for being our location sponsors. Are there any shout outs you want to give?
Just find me on Instagram. My platform goes as Sharan_Vela Yudhan. That's hard to spell, but you figure it out. You figure it out. But other than that, just be kind, guys. Peace, love, and positivity always.
We hope you enjoyed today's show, and we'll see you soon on Behind the Gram.